Watch this line. I'm spraying a single pass. No brush, no steel wool, no elbow grease. 20 minutes from now, that black line disappears. I'm not using magic. I'm using chemistry that actually reaches where the stain lives. If you've spent hours scrubbing grout with a toothbrush and watching it turn dark again by Tuesday, stop. You're working against the material. I'll show you what actually pulls the stain out. I'll break down exactly why kitchen grout turns black in the first place, why bleach and vinegar keep failing, and the exact dwell time method I've used on commercial kitchen floors for 15 years to whiten grout without scrubbing. You'll get the precise mixture, the application steps, and the sealing routine that keeps it white. Stay with me through the end. The last step is what stops it from coming back. Look at your kitchen floor. The tiles might be clean, but the lines between them are dark. Sometimes it's gray, sometimes it's pure black. You grab a brush, you pour bleach, you mix baking soda and water into a paste, you scrub until your forearm burns, the top layer lightens, you feel like you won. 3 days later, it's dark again. You repeat the cycle. You waste time, you damage the grout surface. You think the problem is dirt. It isn't. The problem is that you're treating a porous, cured material like it's a smooth countertop. Grout isn't glass. It's not sealed tile. It's a cement-based matrix. When it's fresh, it's wet and pliable. When it cures, it hardens, but it stays porous. Kitchen floors take a specific kind of abuse. You're not just walking on them, you're dropping oil. You're mopping with soapy water that leaves residue. You're tracking in moisture from sinks and dishwashers. You're heating food which pushes grease into the air. That grease settles, it mixes with dust, it combines with water, it sinks into the grout pores. Once it's inside, surface cleaners can't reach it. You can wipe the top all day, the stain stays locked underneath. People try quick fixes. They pour straight vinegar. It fizzes, it smells sharp, and it does almost nothing to oil or cured mineral deposits. They use chlorine bleach. Bleach kills surface mold. It lightens the top millimeter. It does not break down cooking oils. It does not dissolve soap scum. It does not reach into the pores. It just sits on top, evaporates, and leaves the core stain intact. Some people buy expensive grout pens. Those are paint. They cover the problem. They chip when you mop. They trap moisture underneath. You trade a stain for a flaking surface. The real issue is that grout in a kitchen is under constant chemical attack. You're dealing with a combination of organic matter, mineral buildup, and moisture. Each one requires a different approach. If you only address one, the others hold the stain in place. If you scrub hard, you roughen the surface. Rough surfaces catch more dirt. That's why aggressive scrubbing makes grout blacken faster over time. You're creating microscopic grooves that trap oil and moisture. You're making the next stain settle deeper. You've been told to scrub more. I'm telling you to scrub less. The solution isn't force. It's time, chemistry, and proper application. If you understand what's actually happening inside the grout line, you stop fighting it. You start working with it. That's where the method comes in. It's not a product you buy once, it's a process. It takes 20 minutes of setup. It takes 0 hours of scrubbing. It pulls the stain out from the inside. I've used this on residential floors, restaurant kitchens, and hospital prep areas. It works every time because it addresses the actual cause, not the symptom. Grout turns black for 3 overlapping reasons: oil penetration, mineral bonding, and microbial growth. They don't happen in isolation. They build on each other. Once you see how they lock together, you'll understand why your current routine keeps failing. First, oil penetration. When you cook, fats and oils aerosolize. They don't just land on the stove, they hang in the air. They settle on every horizontal surface. Your floor catches them. Oil is hydrophobic. It repels water. That's why mopping with soapy water doesn't remove it. Soap lifts some of it, but the heavier fractions sink. Grout is porous. The pores are microscopic, but they're connected. Oil pulls itself into those channels through capillary action. Once it's inside, it oxidizes. Oxidation darkens it. Fresh cooking oil is light yellow or clear. Oxidized oil is brown to black. That's why grout lines look fine when they're new, then darken over months. It's not dirt falling from the sky, it's your own cooking oil curing inside the material. Second, mineral bonding. Tap water contains calcium, magnesium, and trace metals. When water evaporates, those minerals stay behind. They crystallize. In a kitchen, you're dealing with hard water spots, detergent residue, and food acids. When minerals mix with oil and soap scum, they form a cross-linked matrix. Think of it like concrete. The minerals act as a binder. The oil acts as a pigment. Once that matrix cures, it's stable. Water rinses off the surface. The matrix stays locked. That's why plain mopping does nothing. You're washing over a cured layer. Third, microbial growth. Grout holds moisture. Kitchens generate humidity. Under the sink, near the dishwasher, along the edges of the room, water sits longer than it should. Mold and mildew spores are everywhere. They don't need a swamp to grow. They need surface moisture and organic matter. Oil and soap residue feed them. Once they colonize, they produce pigments. Those pigments are dark. They bind to the grout surface and seep into the top layer of pores. People see black grout and assume it's pure mold. It's usually a mix. Mold is the top layer. Oil and minerals are the foundation. If you only kill the mold, the foundation remains. New mold feeds on the remaining oil. It returns in weeks. Bleach fails because it only addresses the third factor. It oxidizes surface microbes. It does not break down the oil-mineral matrix. Vinegar fails because it's a weak acid. It dissolves light calcium deposits, but it does nothing to oxidized oil or heavy mineral bonds. Baking soda is abrasive. It scrubs the surface smooth, but pushes residue deeper into the pores. The more you use it, the more you roughen the grout, the faster it stains again. The fix requires a three-part approach. You need an oxidizer that breaks down organic bonds. You need a surfactant that lifts oil out of the pores. You need controlled dwell time to let the chemistry work before you touch it. Scrubbing interrupts the process. It pushes the mixture back into the material. It creates heat. It spreads residue. The right method does the opposite. You apply, you wait. The chemistry pulls the stain upward. You wipe it away. No force, no abrasion, just time and the right compounds. I've tested this on cement grout, epoxy grout, and older sanded mixes. The principle stays the same. The dwell time changes, the concentration changes. The result does not. When you understand that grout darkening is a chemical curing process, you stop treating it like a cleaning problem. You treat it like a material problem. That shift changes everything. Here's the exact method. I'll give you the mixture, the application steps, the timing, and the maintenance routine. Follow it in order. Do not skip steps. Each one handles a specific part of the stain matrix. Step 1. Dry prep. You cannot work on wet, dirty grout. Sweep or vacuum the floor thoroughly. Remove all loose debris, dust, and surface grease. If you mop first, you'll spread oil into a thin film that blocks the cleaner. Dry surface only. Use a stiff broom or a shop vac with a hard floor attachment. Go over the grout lines twice. You want the pores open and dry. If the floor is damp, wait. Moisture blocks penetration. Step 2. The mixture. You need 3 components. Hydrogen peroxide at 6% concentration. Standard drugstore peroxide is 3%. It works, but 6% cuts dwell time in half. You can find it at beauty supply stores or hardware sections labeled for cleaning. Do not use industrial 30% peroxide. It's hazardous and unnecessary. Second component, a non-ionic surfactant. This is the key to lifting oil. Dish soap works, but it leaves residue. Use a commercial degreaser labeled non-ionic or a simple plant-based cleaner with 0 oils or glycerin. Third component, citric acid powder. It breaks down mineral bonds without etching the grout. Mix ratio, 1 cup 6% hydrogen peroxide, 2 tablespoons non-ionic surfactant, 1 teaspoon citric acid powder. Stir gently. Do not shake. Peroxide breaks down when agitated aggressively. Pour into a spray bottle with a fine mist setting. Label it. Keep it out of direct sunlight. It stays effective for 30 days. Step 3. Application. Spray the mixture directly onto the grout lines. Do not flood the floor. You want the lines saturated, not the tiles. If overspray lands on tile, wipe it immediately. Peroxide can leave hazing on certain finishes. Once the lines are wet, lay damp paper towels or clean microfiber strips directly over the grout. Press them down lightly. The goal is to keep the mixture wet against the grout for the full dwell time. If it dries, the reaction stops. Cover with plastic wrap if you're working in a dry room. This traps humidity and prevents evaporation. Do not walk on it. Set a timer. 20 minutes for light staining, 35 minutes for heavy black lines. Do not exceed 45 minutes. Extended time does not improve results. It only increases peroxide breakdown. Step 4. The removal. When the timer ends, peel off the paper towels. You'll see dark residue on them. That's the stain pulling out. Take a clean, dry microfiber cloth. Wipe the lines in one direction. Do not scrub. Press firmly and pull. The cloth will lift the loosened matrix. If lines still look dark, repeat the spray and dwell step once. Most floors clear in one pass. If you have isolated, stubborn spots, use a soft nylon grout brush. Light pressure only. The chemistry has already broken the bond. You're just guiding the residue out. Do not use metal brushes. Do not use power scrubbers. They damage the surface and reset the staining cycle. Step 5. Rinse and dry. Fill a bucket with warm water. Wipe the floor with a clean mop or cloth to remove any remaining cleaner residue. Change the water once if it turns cloudy. Dry the floor thoroughly. Use a dry towel or a fan. Moisture left in the pores invite new staining. Open windows, run the exhaust fan. Grout must be completely dry before you walk on it. Step 6. Seal. This is where people quit. They clean, they admire it, they forget to protect it. Grout needs a penetrating sealer, not a topical coat. Topical sealers sit on the surface. They trap moisture. They peel. Penetrating sealers soak into the pores and repel oil and water from inside. Buy a silane siloxane-based grout sealer. Follow the label, apply with a small brush or applicator bottle. Target the lines only. Wipe tile immediately. Let it cure for 24 hours. Do not mop for 48 hours. One coat lasts 6 to 9 months in a kitchen. 2 coats last a year. Reapply when water no longer beads on the grout. Common mistakes to avoid. Do not mix peroxide with vinegar. It creates peracetic acid. It's harsh, unstable, and unnecessary. Do not use baking soda with this method. It neutralizes the peroxide and creates a paste that clogs pores. Do not rush the dwell time. Chemistry needs time to break molecular bonds. 20 minutes of waiting saves 2 hours of scrubbing. Do not seal over damp grout. Moisture trapped under sealer turns gray and breeds mold. Always test in a hidden corner first. Older grout may be softer. The mixture is safe, but heavy staining and weak grout can reveal underlying damage. If grout is crumbling, seal it only after you patch it. No cleaner fixes structural failure. Maintenance routine. Stop using oil-based floor cleaners. They leave a film that catches dust. Switch to a pH-neutral floor cleaner diluted exactly as labeled. Wipe spills immediately. Oil darkens grout faster when it sits. Run your kitchen exhaust while cooking. It pulls aerosolized grease out of the room. Mop with a damp cloth, not a wet mop. Excess water pushes residue into pores. Once a week, spray a light mist of the peroxide mixture on high-traffic lines. Wait 10 minutes, wipe dry. This prevents buildup before it cures. You're not deep cleaning, you're interrupting the staining cycle. Why this works without scrubbing. The peroxide oxidizes the organic matrix. The surfactant lowers surface tension, allowing oil to detach from the cement particles. The citric acid softens mineral bonds. Together, they break the cross-linked stain into smaller, water-soluble fragments. The damp paper towel keeps the reaction active. Capillary action pulls the fragments upward. You wipe them away. Scrubbing fights capillary action. It pushes fragments back down. It heats the surface. It accelerates curing. You lose the advantage of the chemistry. The method relies on patience and precise application. It's not faster, it's smarter. I've cleaned floors that hadn't been touched in years. Restaurant kitchens with black grout from decades of fryer oil. Hospital prep rooms with soap scum and chemical residue. The same principle applies every time. Identify the matrix, break it down, pull it out, protect the surface. Skip any of those steps and you'll be back to scrubbing. You don't need expensive machines. You don't need commercial licenses. You need the right concentration, the right dwell time, and a clean microfiber cloth. Measure accurately. Wait the full time. Wipe in one direction. Seal properly. The grout will lighten. It will stay light if you maintain the seal and control moisture. If it darkens again, it's not the method failing, it's the maintenance dropping. Fix the routine, not the process. That's the full system. Dry prep, mix peroxide, surfactant, citric acid, apply, cover, wait, wipe, rinse, dry. Seal, maintain. Follow it exactly. You'll pull years of black staining out of your kitchen grout without a single hour of scrubbing. Test it on one section. Watch the paper towels turn dark. See the lines clear. Then do the rest. I've handed this to hundreds of homeowners and facility managers. It holds up because it's built on how grout actually behaves, not how we wish it behaved. Start today. Keep it dry, keep it sealed. The floor will stay clean.